feedback. We always look forward to your phone calls. Before we go, I want you to keep in mind the ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تُؤَدَّ الْأَمَانَاتِ إِلَى أَهْلِهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders us to fulfill our covenants and our trusts with those people that we have trusts with. On that, inshallah, we will close and like to see you in our next episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My question for you guys right now is, are you focused? That's right, are you focused on Huda tonight, you guys? That is our question of the hour, or the half an hour that we have left. Our topic is focus and the importance of focusing in this world of distractions. Facebook, Twitter, and all this stuff, social media, it causes a lot of distractions. Well, we're going to talk about that with a very special guest, and I'm going to let him do his best job to introduce himself to all the viewers from all around the world. And I want you to introduce the topic a little bit, brother. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself, your full name, and what you're doing here on Huda TV.
So my name is Arif. I'm an English teacher. I'm here to talk about focus at everything. So the topic will be, the more you focus, the more you gain.
Perfect. The more you focus, the more you gain.
Yes.
Now, brother, briefly, you mentioned you're an English teacher.
Yeah.
So what age group of children are you teaching? Are you teaching adults? Are you teaching the TEFL? Are you teaching English language? What age group are you?
I'm teaching all stages with the grace of God.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, alhamdulillah. So as an English teacher, brother, this is wonderful because you have a real life experience regarding focus, teaching your students how to focus. And I'm sure you've seen the difference of the product, of the output, of the intelligence or the results of your students, those who are more focused and those who suffer from distractions.
For example, if you're teaching adults, so they come to you, they are focused.
Yeah.
They need something, so they come and take it.
Right.
But for children, they miss focus. So you need to help them, to attract them to you in order to get focused in the topic that you're teaching.
Right.
So it's completely different between teaching adults and teaching children.
But question now, as an English teacher, and we're talking about focus. Are you focused? The more you focus, the more you gain. Is focus even more important or equal to perhaps intelligence? If you have a guy or a girl that's really intelligent, but he or she's not focused, then she's not going to produce results, right? But if you have somebody who says less talented, but they're focused, I mean, they will probably achieve better results, right?
Yeah, sure. So if you are focused, you'll be better than the intelligent person, because the intelligent person might be inattentive to what you're saying, so he will not get what you want from them.
Okay.
So the focused person, he's gonna get what you want from him, and he gonna tell you the answer. If you're asking a question, for example, so they're gonna answer pretty well. But the other person who's smart and intelligent and they're not focused, so focus is the key for success.
Yeah, of course. Okay, and we can even say perhaps the more focused person, the person who has better concentration, is generally more successful, you would imagine.
For example, this is in exams. For example, this person that was smart and intelligent, but they are scared of exams. They just panic when they have the exam. And they are really smart and they studied very well. But because they are panic, they cannot solve very well. So they just solve the question and then remove it and then write it again and write the wrong answer. But the focused person, just they take time to think and then they write very well.
Now let's focus for a minute here.
Yeah.
I want you to think about or share with us and the viewers, myself, are there any verses of the Quran or hadith of the Prophet, peace on him, that enumerate, discuss, describe the focused person or the importance of being focused?
Sure. We have the ayah, the part of ayah which said, ما جعل الله لرجل من قلبين في جوفه. So Allah didn't make us with two hearts in our breast. So you have only one heart. So this means that you have to focus on one thing first, finish this task, and move on to the other task. So it's not only that you do two tasks together. So you need to do one task only in order to achieve what you want from it.
Okay. I mean, nowadays, however, look, everybody wants to be focused. Everybody wants to be successful and achieve results in their work, in their worship, in their schools. However, there are distractions. like I mentioned, Facebook, Twitter, emails, work. Look, I mean, the list goes on and on. Every person has a unique scenario. So how can we avoid these distractions while we're working, while we're praying, while we are doing things that we need to focus on?
We have lots of distractions, as you have mentioned. Facebook, for example, this is the big distraction for lots of people.
Right.
So when you start to study, just sign in Facebook, and you try to study
And
for a
Facebook.
while, and then
Yes.
Facebook. So you got to comment, so you're going to go
Yes.
and comment and like and so on, and you just post something. Also, you go study for a while. So if you want to study for half an hour, this half an hour will be, for example, 3 hours, and you didn't finish what you assigned for this half an hour.
Right.
So you need to focus in this half an hour and study, and then you can go on Facebook.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Or in Twitter, and so
Whatever
on.
right.
So finish your task first, and then move on to these things.
Yeah, I mean, I think just simply setting a time schedule and setting some goals. I actually wrote a book. I wrote a novel, and that was simply because I took the laptop and I disconnected the cable cord. I don't have wireless.
Yeah,
And I just set a time, an hour, half an hour a day, and I wrote a book in about a year.
really.
And, yeah, and I also went on Facebook, in the
Yeah.
evenings and stuff. So I think that's important. But brother, there are two types of distractions. There are the distractions that come unintentionally, and then there's the distractions that people put in your way, like the shaitan, intentionally. So what tools has Allah given us to fight off? We know we can avoid the first ones with priorities and organization, but what tools has Allah given us to fight off the second distractions?
Which is the
shaitan, the whispers while you're praying. I can't remember how many rak'ah I prayed. And how can we get away from these type of distractions?
So, as we said earlier, you need to get focused at what you want. So now you are praying, for example, what I want from prayer. So I need to pray to Allah, so I know to clear out my heart from every distraction, from any desire, from anything, just to clear myself to the only God subhanahu wa ta'ala, just to pray only to Allah. So you stop thinking about anything, you just try to prepare yourself for prayer. Before the prayer, you prepare yourself for prayer, you just focus, you just concentrate,
Right.
and then you're going to do your prayer very well. But if you don't do this, if you don't prepare yourself, people who just come late to prayer, for example, so they come in a hurry, they don't know which rak'ah they are in.
Right.
Yeah, so they just, until they focus, they take, for example, 2 rak'ahs, so the prayer is over and they didn't get focused.
Or what about the person who joined the prayer on time, but, and this happens to me and all of us sometimes, you constantly think about worldly things. Did I do this? Did I do that?
This
going
is
to do
shaitan. This is as the Prophet ﷺ told us. So this is shaitan, and you have to seek refuge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from this shaitan, and say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitan rajim.
Okay.
So in order to stay, to make him stay away from you
Right.
while you are praying.
Okay.
So you need to do this.
Right.
You need to focus, and you
Just
just
take the steps.
yes, and try to focus on the azkar of salah. So what you're saying, focus on what you're
Yes.
saying,
Yes.
because we say this
Mechanically.
unconsciously.
Yeah.
Unconsciously you're saying this, and you're not focused on what you're saying. Just try to think deep in what you're saying in this azkar, because these azkar are really great. If you
Yeah.
think of them and you think of the result of them, so you're going to get focused.
Yeah, if you simply think about the meaning of them.
Yes.
I remember when I first became Muslim, when we rise from Ruku', when we say, Sami Allahu liman hamida, I was like in awe and how beautiful this expression was when I first became Muslim. Now, 7 years later, I say it all the time, but I don't think about it as much anymore, because we don't want to lose that enthusiasm. So I think you're absolutely right, brother. If we just meditate and reflect.
Actually, regarding this point also, for example, there's like a dua or supplication we say at the beginning of salah. We have different versions. So some people just advise us to say, for a while, you say this version, and then you change this version in order to get focused.
Okay, right.
Also,
right.
the verses that you're praying with, you need to change. Not
Right.
to pray with only 2 verses and all the prayers. So you need to change the verses in order
Yeah.
to get focused.
Yeah.
And as long as you're memorizing the Quran, so you try to pray with what you're
Yeah.
memorizing, you get focused a lot.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Now, I would like to speak now about distractions that human beings put in our way. I visited my parents for 2 weeks back in California. I just returned, alhamdulillah. And the airplane was flying back here. We were going to London and to Egypt. And just a long story short, a man had a heart attack, so we had to make a landing in Iceland. So after 5 or 6 hours of waiting, the airline gives a little bit of money to eat and whatever, it was an inconvenience, but the man had a heart attack, right? So after 5, 6 hours, the pilot comes out. I swear by Allah, and you know what he says? He was a very nice man, but you know what he said? All right, you guys, by the way, you guys can eat all the food you want, don't worry, and we have all the alcohol you want to drink, it's on us, you guys, don't worry about it for this inconvenience. Then everybody was happy.
Yeah, they were over the moon because he said alcohol.
Yeah, instead of saying, instead of being happy, the man was okay. Anyways, my point was, look at this distraction.
Yes.
The guy brings some frivolous, stupid thing like alcohol.
And they go with it.
So what should the believer do? I mean, the many distractions come at all times in our lives as we're walking down the streets and throughout our lives. We're bombarded with advertisements and distractions. And say we have something in mind, a goal in mind. How can I prevent myself?
As long as you have like a lofty goal, a very big goal, and you're focusing on it, nothing could stop you. So you know your goal from this life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I created the people or the mankind only to worship me. So if you know that you are here only to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so nothing will distract you. Sometimes you get unfocused, you get inattentive or mindless, but you have to go back. You have to remind yourself all the time. You know that from time to time, if you are driving a car, for example, so the gas, you need to complete the gas.
Right.
So to fill the gas.
Right.
Also, your iman, your belief, your faith.
Right.
From time to time, you need to complete your faith. Recharge your faith.
Yeah.
All right. So by doing azkar, by saying azkar, supplications, and also by praying, by doing lots of other things that increase your iman.
Okay.
So by doing this, and your iman is in increase, because the Prophet told us that the iman goes up and down.
Right.
So it goes up and down, so you need to
increase it.
Yeah, increase it all the time in order to keep focused on what you want to get out of this.
And of course, the 5 prescribed prayers are a way, when you've been distracted, boom, it's a reminder to get focused.
Yes.
And also, brother, what's your opinion about even unrestricted adhkar? If you're not doing anything and you're just fiddling around, I see people reading, like, even I was doing it, like on the airplane, some stupid magazine, just literally wasting time. And I hate that expression. We don't have time to waste as Muslims, right? So isn't unrestricted adhkar, a way to bring your heart, mind, and soul back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and focus yourself again? I think it's a great means to optimize your time and focus again on what's important.
Also, the morning and the evening, the evening azkar, these are very important azkar. Shaykh Al-Uthaymeen said all the time, if you just say them and you are focused on them, you feel like a great happiness, and your iman will increase. They have lots of benefits, this azkar. We have lots of azkar that you can just say them in order to increase your iman. So keep saying this azkar and you get hasanat. Also istighfar.
Yes.
Istighfar is a very important thing. So if you're sad, if you're having a problem, if you're looking for a new job, if you're looking for a wife to marry, if you're looking for anything, so just with istighfar is the key for this.
Yeah, great point. Thank you, brother. Although I also see people that are unbalanced or who are overly focused on perhaps the wrong thing or only one thing. So for example, you might have somebody who's really career oriented, and that's okay, or really academically oriented, but at the same time he neglects perhaps other things, like maybe ibadah or work or family relations.
And they say that work is ibadah,
Yeah, or you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
So what do you think? I mean, do we have to keep a balance?
Sure. We have to keep a balance between our work and our ibadah.
Right.
Allah said, وَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ. If you just free, if you finish your work, just stand up and pray. And this is kind of focus.
Right.
Do not pray while you are busy.
Right.
Do not worship Allah while you are busy. Your mind is busy.
Right.
Just free, finish your work, and then stand up for praying and for worshiping Allah. So you have to keep balance between your work and your ibadah, your worship.
But what does the man, if someone said to you, hey, look, brother, my work is ibadah, so what do you tell him?
Also, why you are here. We are here to worship Allah subhanahu wa
Yeah,
ta'ala. So while you are working, I'm working.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm working to get money in order to eat, in order to be able to stand up to pray.
Right.
Get it? It's
a
you have to
circle.
know this. It's
Yeah.
not only to just to work, and then the other
Yeah.
stuff are over. No, you have to work to get money, to eat, and then to pray.
Wallahi, I feel when there's a disconnect between those things, it becomes a very ugly cycle. I was just in America for 2 weeks, and as I mentioned to you before the show, unfortunately, I found many people that are so focused on materialism that they become like the hadith, Abdul Dinar, Abdul Dirham, I don't know the whole
Yes.
hadith.
Yes.
And I actually, wallahi, I didn't feel angry or hatred towards them. I felt very sad for them. Because when there's a disconnect, look, I'm earning money just to earn money, and not
Yes.
I'm earning money to feed my children or whatever.
Yes.
I mean, this is or enjoy the bounties that Allah has provided. It's
See
really
now?
it's a bit sad, isn't it?
It's a vicious circle, as you said. So just I earn money in order to earn money.
Yeah.
So-
you focus on the wrong thing.
Yeah. So I earn money. Why I earn money? So I earn money, as you said, to feed my children, to
To enjoy the bounties of Allah.
Yes.
Being aware that they are provided by Allah, and He's the
So these
sustainer.
people are just running after their desires.
Certainly.
This is a very bad disease of the heart.
Yeah,
the
subhanAllah.
desires. Just
course.
if you follow your desire, you're gonna destroy yourself and damage your life. Your life will be like a hell.
Now, brother, you mentioned something interesting as we spoke about before the episode, actually. Diseases of the heart. And we're talking about distraction, and we're talking about staying focused. Obviously, distractions come to the human heart naturally because we are human beings. So we have temptations and desires that
Yes.
approach us. So how can we prevent that from happening? Because I do see when diseases of the heart enter our hearts, then as a worshiper, as a believer, even as a believer, it becomes more difficult to worship Allah and to reach that level of
They
spirituality.
prevent us from
And then I said, so how can we avoid that?
So we have, as you said, we have two kinds of diseases, which are temptations and desires. So first you have to know what are your desires, what are you looking for,
Right.
and then you try to deal with it. You need to know what are the things that keep you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will not know this except by the good knowledge. So you have to seek knowledge in order to deal with it. So
Okay.
the good knowledge will keep you away from your desires and your temptations, and you have solid feet that you're going to stand on in order to pass to the afterlife.
Great, yeah, inshallah. Now, brother, I want to go to academics now, and I want to draw on your experience now as an English teacher. When you see students, adults or youngsters, not focused, how do you get them to be focused?
I remember like when I was writing or explaining something to my children, so and one of them is writing. I told him just focus. He said, I'm focusing with you. I can tell you what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
So I tell him, no, you're not focused. Because this is short-term focusing.
Yes, like-
you're going to tell me now, and later on you will forget it.
Yes.
So because this, what I'm saying, came in the circumference of your memory.
Yes.
It's not in the center of your memory.
Yes.
If you are focused, so it's going to hit the center of your memory.
Yeah.
So you're going to remember it for a long term.
Yeah.
But they say, oh, I'm focused. No, you're not focused.
Well, he's
So-
focused for a short term. But brother, how guilty or how to blame are video games? Because I believe video games and movies and media and all this stuff has created us to have a short term attention span. I want instant gratification right now. I want to laugh. I want to cry. I want to whatever. I want to see a YouTube video that's 30 seconds. I want everything right now. So this has made us a people that are the opposite of focus. We distract ourselves.
in order to forget our main goal.
Right.
So these all distractions, they came to us in order just to deviate us,
Right,
to make us astray
Right.
from our main goal that we are here as Muslims. All these distractions. If you follow these distractions, you forget yourself. You forget that you have principles as Muslims.
Right.
You forget your goal. You forget why you are here, as I said earlier in the ayah. So Allah said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. So we are here only to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So all these things came to us. All these things came to us in order to stop us or just let us go stray from our main goal.
Yeah.
So we need to just stop these things if your iman is high,
Mhm.
if it is very high, so you're going to stop and you'll not be distracted by all these things.
I believe that in Islam we have many means of bringing us back to the point of being focused and being concentrated on our goal and achieving concentration. Even just reciting the Quran, as an amateur, as a lay person myself, I can't read the Quran that well, but I do know if you are having a sort of distraction or an unsettling experience, if you just read 10 ayats of the Quran or something,
Yes.
you just, subhanAllah, you're back, you know, it helps collect yourself, doesn't it?
Pray 2 rakas.
Yeah.
You can pray 2 rakas, or you can read 10 ayahs, as you said, or read surah, or just try to recite a surah from your memory.
Right.
Try to remember hadith, or for example, or anything like this will bring you back to the point. So you can pray, you can recite an ayah from the Quran, you can remember hadith or something. So this will help you to gain focus again.
In fact, you know, I can't quote the hadith, but I've heard it for many times from our scholars here. When you're angry, to sit down, or to make wudu, or to lay down, to change form. Is that correct? There was a hadith the Prophet ﷺ, he said, if you are angry and you're standing up, then sit down.
Yes.
And this is like a positive form of distraction.
Yes.
In order to distract yourself from the anger.
To stop being angry.
And to focus on being positive again.
So you just sit down. So what happened? You start saying what happened. So nothing. So you start to
think again.
To get back to your normal status again.
Yeah.
So by changing the posture.
Yes.
For example, you were just sitting. You just
laying down,
lay
or standing.
down, and so on.
Now here's a question for you as an English teacher teaching adults and youth. Do you see a difference in focus from the religiously committed students and the students or adults who are not religiously committed? I mean, when you see the practicing Muslims and the non-practicing Muslims as students in your class, do you find, I mean, what's the difference?
Actually, as I said earlier, people who are more religious, they are focused a lot because they know what they are here.
Yeah.
They don't want to waste their time. But other people, they come, they might waste their time. They need someone just to tell them, focus, focus. The other people, they know what they want. If you know what they want, what you want, so you'll be focused.
Yeah, right.
So this is what is good about these people, that they come to the class, they know what they want from the class, so they get it.
Right.
But the other people, they don't know what they want. They just come to the class, attend to the class, and that's it.
The corporations, they have mission statements, value statements, goals and objectives. So as Muslims, we have those too, don't we? And we should be focused on those.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I do like that analogy, because I feel like people that are chasing money and working in the corporate world, they have a very clear outline and a marketing strategy and a 5-year plan and a long-term and short-term plan. They know what they want. So as a Muslim, we should also know what we want and our purpose in life.
We should plan for everything.
Yeah.
We should plan for our life. You should plan for your day.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, this 5 prayers that we have, this is planning our day.
Yeah.
This is like, it's time management for our day. So at Fajr first, so the dawn prayer, and then the noon prayer, and then the afternoon. Look at this, you'll find them there managing your day.
Yeah.
And if you start your day by praying Fajr, your day is very perfect.
Yeah, of course.
But if you don't pray Fajr, you come, and this is hadith about the Prophet, if you don't pray Fajr, so you wake up like looking grumpy and feeling sad and so on. But if you just pray Fajr, you look bright and you look happier, and you start your day with a very nice
positive note.
Yeah, positive.
Focused.
Focused. Yeah.
Well, brother, I certainly appreciate your time. Unfortunately, the episode's already over. So hopefully we can continue this talk or a different discussion next time, inshallah.
All right.
Hey, and you guys, I don't thank you for watching. I'm so happy to be back. Thank you once again for inviting me into your lovely homes. Until next time, I leave you in the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.